This episode of WGW Today is being sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes. And hey, when you're planning that trip to Walt Disney World and you're thinking to yourself, where am I going to stay on this trip? You know, I could stay at Pop Century or some other value resort and stay in a really small room and pay a lot for it. Or you could go stay in All-Star Vacation Home. And they're going to get a lot of space, great amenities, really nice grounds, really close to Walt Disney World. And the best part is the price. You're so close to Disney. You really have to check out how close these houses are and how awesome they are, really. Check out their website at allstarvacationhomes.com.
Bringing the world to your world, this is Walt Disney World Today. Here are Mike Scopa, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and your host, Matt Hochberg.
It's Friday, July 1st, 2011, and this is episode 897 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudiosCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, Matt. I am happy and peppy and bursting with love.
In honor of Canada Day?
Of course. Eh?
Of course. Eh?
What else is there to celebrate? I mean, really, think about it. It's Rush Day.
We would ordinarily have, a distinguished statistician from Canada on today's show, but since he's busy enjoying the finer adult beverages that Canada has to offer that have been imported from the United States,
Yum.
We have Henry Work, the developer for touringplans.com and the host of the Beta Mouse podcast. Welcome to the show, Henry.
Thanks, Matt. You just annoyed an entire nation of Canadian beer drinkers.
It's all right.
Congratulations.
They're not listening anyway. On today's show, we're going to actually be taking time to answer an email that came in from one of our listeners, Rob Stevens. And we thought, you know what, Rob, the email that you gave us was, we didn't want to just shortchange you on some listener question show, kind of breeze through it. So today, we're going to be able to take advantage of some more time and answer your question. From time to time, we like to, take some time to answer some questions more in depth. And we thought, Rob, you'd be a good candidate for this. So it's your lucky day, I guess. Rob writes, long-time listener, first-time questioner. My fiance and I are coming to the world this September, first for a Disney cruise on the 11th, then 10 days to the Contemporary starting on the 15th. Being a Type A personality, we booked over a year in advance while free dining was available. Subscribe to touringplans.com and use their crowd tracker to plan my honeymoon spreadsheet.
Nice.
Awesome. Of course, Disney threw us curveball by choosing to run Fantasmic every night. I tried to move my ADRs around, but just about everything we want is booked. Help talk me down off the rafters. Tell me the following is going to be okay. All right, so he needs some reassurance here. The Thursday we arrive at Walt Disney World on September 15th, we're going to Hollywood Studios. We have a 2 p.m. ADR at Mama Melrose for a late lunch, which gives us the Fantasmic dining package. Originally, this was one of the only 3 nights Fantasmic was showing, and we didn't want to risk missing it. Now that Fantasmic is nightly, all the other ADRs for the Fantasmic dining plan are booked up. Should we keep these plans or do something else this day? Note, we do have another day at the studios planned already with Dine with an Imagineer. Well, I think it's pretty Rob, I don't know if you're familiar, but I'm not a huge fan of the Fantasmic dining package for a number of reasons. Chief among them, just bad seats. They give you a bad view. And you still have to show up at least 30 minutes beforehand, which really you're going to show up probably 40, 45 minutes ahead of time just to be sure, because you're that Type A personality like everyone else. And so you're really not saving all that much time, because I would recommend for people not on the dining package to show up, especially now that Fantasmic will be every night. And in September, maybe 45 minutes ahead of time. So again, you're not really saving that much more time. My recommendation is check what's available for you, because 2 p.m. lunch is kind of screwy, because you're going to have like either a late breakfast. It's really going to screw up your breakfast, really, or you're going to be hungry earlier on, around noontime. And then your dinner time is really screwed up because you just ate at 2 and you're going to have a late dinner, but you got to get into Fantasmic. So as you can see, it kind of screws everything up. And it sounds like you want to change your ADRs anyway. So my suggestion would be ditch the dining plan, just get an ADR somewhere else, or perhaps even a Mama Melrose just for better time, and enjoy the options that are there. Henry, or Mike, what's your take on this? As obviously I have a little more vested interest in everything that goes on here, but what would be your advice to Rob in this situation?
So I do agree. I haven't done the dining package, but I trust Hochberg. Hochberg, you're very trustworthy. And just from experience in terms of Fantasmic, the right 2 sections are not great pickings. And also realize that when the day that you come there on a Thursday, it's a crowd level 1 overall in Walt Disney World. The Hollywood Studios is a 4, but still 4 is pretty manageable in the studios. Just note that, that doesn't mean Toy Story is going to be a walk-on at 3 p.m. The especially Toy Story and Tower and Rock and Roller are still going to have long waits,
Right.
as well as maybe Star Tours. But, Fantasmic, I mean, my guess is that you could, don't quote me on this, always show up earlier just in case. But my guess is if you showed up about an hour, 45 minutes before, that you'll probably get not only a seat, but a decent seat. Do you think that's about right, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, 40, 45 minutes, especially in September. Oh, yeah.
Right. And I mean, how much difference is that going to be than the 20 or 30 minutes you should probably show up just for the dining package?
Yeah, I mean,
When do they recommend getting there? How
you
much earlier?
have to be there no sooner than 30 minutes. You have to be there at least 30 minutes ahead of time. And like I said, in reality, no one shows up exactly 30 minutes. You can give yourself 5-10 minutes easy. Being a normal, being a responsible human being, you're going to give yourself time. And so if we're recommending you show up there 45 minutes ahead of time, and you're probably going to show up anyway on the dining package 40 minutes ahead of time, if not 45, then you're not really saving anything, and you're getting worse seats. You're going to be forced into the really bad seating. So if there are better ADRs available outside of the dining package, I would recommend ditching the package and going for that.
And you can also, worst off, I've used this trick many times. If you can always try for a walk-up. It's that time of year. Walk-ups might be more available. Second thing is, always consider the tune-in lounge as a great last-minute replacement. If you get to tune in by like 5:30, I'm pretty sure you'll have the seats and you'll have the full menu at the 50s prime time available too.
That's a great suggestion.
I think that's awesome. I think that's the best suggestion out of all.
You're just going.
Thank you.
Going to the tune-in.
Yeah, I mean, on a normal day, even
Tune-in's
without
the
fans,
solution to everything.
it is. I totally
Which day should I go to Magic Kingdom? Go to the Tune-in
Tune-in
Lounge.
Lounge. Matt turned me on to that. It is incredible, and it's kind of well, us talking about it isn't going to help much, but it's an incredible little gem.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob, next question. We plan to go to the Magic Kingdom on Sunday, September 18th for extra magic hours with a break in the early evening to have lunch at Victoria and Albert at 6 p.m. before we go back to the park. Of course, when making this plan, I neglected the dress code, so we likely have to go back to the hotel and change. Are we going to have enough time to go back to the hotel, change, eat dinner, go back to the hotel, change again, and make it to the Magic Kingdom in time to see the castle show, Memories, Wishes? Should I make that reservation earlier if possible?
When was he saying the reservation is?
6 p.m. on a Sunday, September 18th.
Does anyone? I have no comparison about how long Viennese takes.
I know that's the thing. I haven't eaten there, but I mean, I can't think that's like a 45-minute eating kind of place.
I was going to say it's probably. I mean, there's probably a presentation involved in that. And
Yeah,
it's
my guess is it's at least 2-hour meal.
Yeah, I would even say 3. By the time you check in and you get there, and then they seat you, and then they do their little thing, and I'm sure it's at least 3 hours.
Yeah,
And then, but he is at the Contemporary. I mean, that's pretty close. He's not like staying at Pop.
I mean, the thing with it is that, I mean, you got to figure, I mean, there's a lot of time. Even if you're walking there from the Magic Kingdom back to the Contemporary, you're looking at, I mean, out of the gates, I mean, if you're lucky, you'll do it in 10 minutes. More than likely, it's closer to 15, just in terms of like, the pace people go. Now the thing is here's the thing. I'm looking at they say the Sunday the 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing going for them is they have extra magic hours till 1 a.m.
Right.
So 6 o'clock. Even though I'm going to say let's handicap them and give them a 2-hour. If it's 2-hour meal, you're done at 8. Worst case 9 o'clock. You're back at 10. So yeah, I would say you got plenty of time because of the extra magic hours. Because the park closes at 10, but to take advantage of the extra magic hours, realistically, you could be back in the Magic Kingdom by 10 o'clock.
Right.
And that's 4 hours from 6 o'clock from the start of your meal, and that includes obviously your time to get back and change and everything. So I would say, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of commuting. If that doesn't bother you, then I think the plan works.
Yeah, I mean, Magic Memories is showing right now at 9:45 and 10:35 p.m. It starts at 6. I mean, unless you really slow through VFAs, and it is a 3-hour experience, and it takes them more than an hour and a half to go from VFAs to the Contemporary change, then go back around the monorail loop or walk over. Right? You could walk. That's another nice thing. He won't have to take the long monorail around.
Yeah, the other option is you take your clothes with you, like you put them in a backpack or something. You go back to your meal, and then you go to the Magic Kingdom. You go to the restrooms and change, and put your clothes in a locker, or you carry them with you. I mean, in the back in your backpack. But you have that option as well to store them.
Okay, Matt.
Yes.
My friend Laurie from Chicago says that if they're at the main dining room, it could roughly last around 3 hours. If you're with friends at the chef's table, it could last up to 5 hours.
Wow.
Right.
Well, that's what she's done. So, I think,
I'll defer to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they
still make it.
They don't
but
rush you out of there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you're making wishes, but I mean, you can certainly take advantage of the extra magic hours, even if it's for just 2 or 3 hours.
And she's also mentioning something about the new Queen Vicky room, which is going to take even longer than 5 hours. So,
sure, why not?
Yeah.
That's why there's 24 hours in the day. Yeah. Rob also wants to know, lastly, we have 3 open days, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, with nothing planned. We'd like to get to Universal's Islands of Adventure to see the Harry Potter park. Is it worth leaving property for the one day? Can we see most of Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios in one day? Which of those parks would be best to go to? We're leaning towards Monday. I can definitely tell you that you can see Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios in one day, especially in September.
Right.
I mean, outside of Harry Potter, like Islands of Adventure, I went to see the first time I went to Islands of Adventure when I moved down here, which was like a year or two ago. I think we did Islands of Adventure in about 2 hours. This is pre-Harry Potter. I would maybe tack on maybe another hour for Harry Potter. So realistically, you can be done with Islands of Adventure at noon, and then head on over to Universal Studios proper and go and do that park. And you can easily do that in half a day, excuse me. Because there isn't that length of attractions there. You do have to be careful of the park hours there because it is September, but I think even at Universal Studios, they're going to be open till at least 6 or 7 p.m., which should give you enough time to be able to do them, or at least get the taste of like the major attractions, right? You're going to want to do like the Simpsons ride, the Mummy, Rip Ride Rocket, Men in Black, the biggies. You might not be able to squeeze in perhaps Jaws or E.T. or something like that, but at the same, you're still going to be able to. I think you're going to be able to see a majority of the popular attractions, and certainly be able to get Islands of Adventure out of the way.
I think in case you have a bigger boat or something, then you could do Jaws real quick or something.
But also, I would say it's definitely worth it. I know that's sacrilege to say on a Disney podcast, but Harry Potter kind of blew me away. So I think it's definitely worth an experience if you're a Harry Potter fan.
I've done what's it called? What's the Forbidden Journey at Harry Potter, and that attraction is really cool. They really did a great job with it. It's really worth checking out. So I agree, it's worth going to just for that. Even if I knew nothing about Harry Potter, right? But I thought I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a very interesting experience. The question is, what day to do it? Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday? With them leaning towards Monday. Henry, do you have any information from touringplans.com on Universal or your own experience?
Sure, we do, but I do not have it. Unfortunately, we don't have a Universal crowd calendar right now. If you email Fred at touringplans.com and give him a few weeks lead time, he might be able to help you out. I do
think, though, that the weekdays would probably be better. You're going to have less locals going there because theoretically locals will be working. Kiddies are back in school. So I would suggest either that Monday or that Tuesday if you can swing it, depending on your schedule. But either Monday sounds good to me just based on that alone. The weekday is definitely a lot easier to check out those attractions. And like I said, if you be there for park opening, and you should be able to knock it all out in one day, especially the major things. I would say, you should be able to get all of that accomplished.
Agreed.
Very good. Well, that's going to do it for us today. If you want to check out our latest episodes, read our show notes, or send us an email, you can visit our website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Sopa, Mike Newell, and Henry Work, I'm Matt Hotchberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.